Number of abductees from Niger private school rises to 315. Governor Makinde reaffirms dedication to fortifying labor relations, workers' welfare. Belarus pardons 31 Ukrainians under Lukashenko-Trump pact. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on the news around the world. I am Ifeoluwa Olaoye, and on the sign language corner is Shakirat Ogundeji. The number of pupils and students abducted from the St. Mary private primary and secondary schools has risen to 303, according to the Niger State CAN. The abduction occurred in Papiri, Agwara local government area, where gunmen stormed the St. Mary's Catholic School in the early hours of Friday, initially kidnapping 215 pupils and 12 teachers. Following a verification exercise and further inquiries, the number of abducted students was updated to 303, with the total number of victims now 315, including 12 teachers. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Niger State Chapter, Most Reverend Bolos Yohana, disclosed this in a statement released on Saturday through his media aide, Daniel Atori, saying the increase came after a verification exercise and final census. The bishop also stated that the management of St. Mary Primary and Secondary School, as well as the National Association of Private Schools, did not receive any prior government circular instructing the closure of secondary schools in the area before the attack. The Federal Ministry of Education says it has not issued any directive for schools across the country to shut down on November 24, 2025. In a statement today, the ministry described the report circulating on social media alleging a nationwide shutdown as false and misleading. It noted that it did not originate from the federal government, the Federal Ministry of Education, any state ministry of education, or any recognized security agency. The disclaimer, signed by the ministry's spokesperson, Folashade Boriowo, urged members of the public to rely strictly on verified information from official channels. The ministry stated that only communications from the federal government, the Federal Ministry of Education, state governments, and recognized security agencies should be considered authentic. United States President Donald Trump has expressed anger over the alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria. Trump, in his latest comments on the issue, stated that thousands of Christians are being killed in the West African country. The U.S. president spoke on a conservative radio program on Friday as captured by Fox News. Trump had earlier designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern over the Christian genocide claims and threatened military action in Nigeria to stop the killing, branding the country a disgrace. He also accused the Nigerian government of failing to protect Christians from violence perpetrated by the Islamic extremists. Hinting at his next move during the radio program, Trump said he may stop all aid to Nigeria and further repeated his threat to take military action against Islamist militants in Nigeria if the government does not do more to stop attacks on Christian communities. The security situation in Nigeria is complex, with various factors contributing to the challenges facing the country. To this end, some insurgent groups operating in the country may have received support from certain entities which could be impacting the situation. This was asserted by social commentator Professor Soji Adejumo and public affairs analyst Comrade Emmanuel Ogundiran while discussing the topic, Trump's genocide allegation amid rising security challenges on BCOS News magazine program, Saturday Special. Our reporter, Fidora Afolagboye, who monitored the program, has the details.
Nigeria faces intense scrutiny after U.S. President Donald Trump's genocide allegation amidst escalating kidnappings and killings. Yet, More killings and abductions continue, sparking concerns among citizens, with gunmen abducting hundreds, including students and worshippers, exposing the government's security challenges and fueling nationwide outrage and fear. During the discussion, a social commentator, Professor Soji Adejumo, noted that what Nigeria is experiencing isn't Christian genocide, but rather genocide, although Christians are disproportionately affected. He emphasized that the president is not taking necessary actions despite having the resources and capability, and it is imperative he considers the implication of external pressures and statements.
It seems as if some set of ideologically, oriented Muslims not only want to eliminate Christians, they also want to eliminate Muslims that don't fall in line with their own orientation and create their own special Islamic.
Also featuring on the program, a public affairs analyst, Comrade Emmanuel Ogundiro, explained that Nigeria is facing genocide, not terrorism, and that the country won't achieve peace until all internal threats are addressed. He cautioned Nigerians against misconstructing Trump's intentions, stating that his focus is on combating terrorism, not targeting any specific religious group, particularly Muslims.
What are those people in the House doing? But because he's favoring them, allow independent candidacy? No. Let us have referendum inserted in our constitution? No. A lot of things that we have demanded. And this constitution that they say we, the people, I say it anywhere. When something starts on a lie, then you have to be piling up so many lies to cover the initial lies.
They both urged citizens to take necessary measures to protect themselves, while encouraging stakeholders to collaborate with any foreign agency willing to assist Nigeria in addressing the security challenges. Fidora Afolagbe, BCOS News.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says the federal government has not prosecuted individuals suspected of financing terrorism because the process requires extensive and delicate investigations that cannot be rushed. Speaking on a TV program, Idris explained that contrary to public perception, the matter was not as simple as having a list and immediately taking suspects to court. The minister's statement came against the backdrop of growing concerns over alleged government complicity in the escalating insecurity ravaging the country. Successive governments have faced public pressure to identify and prosecute individuals suspected of financing terrorism, particularly Boko Haram, ISWAP, and bandits group operating in the north. Idris stated that they are open to any kind of cooperation, regional, international, American, or anybody who wants to see that there is an end to the crisis in Nigeria. The Federal Ministry of Art, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy has announced the postponement of the 2025 edition of the National Festival of Arts and Culture. According to information gathered, the festival, which was to be hosted by Enugu State, was scheduled to begin today. However, the postponement was announced today in Abuja by the Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the Minister, Nneka Anibeze. The decision followed a careful assessment of the national mood amid rising insecurity across various parts of the country. In solidarity with affected families and communities and out of deep respect for lives lost, the Minister, Hannatu Musawa, in consultation with stakeholders, approved postponement of the festival to a later date. The Zamfara Police Command has rescued 25 people, including 10 women and 15 children, from armed bandits who attacked Kuraje village in Damba, Gusau local government area on Friday night. A statement released today by the Public Relations Officer, DSP Yazid Abubakar, said the joint rescue operation involved police patrol teams from Damba Division, the Department of Operations in Gusau, and the State Community Protection Guard, CPG. The State Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Balarabe Maikaba, commended the bravery of the officers and reassured the public of the command's commitment to safeguarding lives and property across Zamfara State. This follows recent abductions across Nigeria, including the kidnapping of 25 schoolgirls from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Kebbi State, on 17th November, the abduction of worshippers, and the killing of at least 5 at Christ Apostolic Church, Eruku, Kwara State, on 18th November, and the attack on St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri, Agwara local government area, Niger State, on 21st November, where 303 pupils and 12 teachers were taken. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has reaffirmed his administration's steadfast dedication to enhancing the welfare of workers and fortifying labor relations in the state. He made this known while delivering a speech at the 2025 Oyo State Labor Veterans Association Labor and Award Day held at NUJ Press Center, Iyaganku, Ibadan. Our reporter, Olamide Owolabi, has the details.
The 2025 Oyo State Labor Veterans Association Labor and Award Day themed labor movement in Nigeria, building the bridges to peaceful political transition towards 2027, gathered labor leaders, veteran union members, government officials, and key stakeholders to discuss the movement's role in consolidating democratic institutions. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, represented by Special Advisor on Labor Matters, Comrade Bayo Titilola Sodo, commended the association for its commitment to the development of the state and encouraged members to continue serving humanity.
This is a laudable initiative, particularly the topic chosen for the lecture they had today, building bridges so that we can have peaceful elections, elections that will be peaceful and fair, and that people will appreciate that, okay, there has been a free and fair elections in Nigeria, and he highlighted so many things that even labor, both active and veterans, the activities they can embark upon to ensure that we have a smooth sail in 2027.
Earlier in his welcome address, the president of the Oyo State Labor Veterans Association, Comrade Veteran Ibrahim Bolomope, outlined the association's mandate to mediate labor disputes and promote members' welfare and dignity, affirming that the association remains committed to its responsibilities.
This is our third year of giving lectures. We agree at our meeting that we should be providing topical topics for generations of trade union leaders that are coming behind us, because all of us are former labor leaders, and we believe by giving lecture, the public will understand, we'll be able to impart knowledge.
Delivering his lecture on the theme, Dr. Bashir Olaiwaju underscored the labor's movement's historic role in championing the rights of Nigerians and urged members to continue forging alliances towards the 2027 transition while maintaining their position as the voice of the masses. The chairman of the Oyo State Civil Service Commission and chairman of the day, Alhaji Kamodin Adebibe, and the chairman of BCOS, Mrs. Dotun Olaiton, represented by the Director of Administration and Supplies, Pastor Abiola Lawale, in their separate remarks, commended the association for providing a platform that reflects the true responsibilities of labor leaders and for its contributions toward the state development.
They should be our guide and guard in the democracy of this nation. So these people are the people that we should rely on in our democracy.
We know their pedigree. We know what they stood for, and they did not change. You have said a lot of things about Nigeria, identified a lot of problems. We have provided a lot of solutions. But the problem is, why is Nigeria unchanged?
The presentation of recognition awards to distinguished personalities was the highlight of the event, which was also attended by the Director of Planning and Research, BCOS, Mrs. Taiwo Adebowale. Olamide Owolabi, Business News.
Governor Seyi Makinde has said that Nigeria will never become a one-party state despite the frenetic moves by some people to push the country towards that direction. He explained that the plurality of ethnic nationalities would not make the idea work. Governor Makinde spoke today in Yola at a civic reception held in honor of Adamawa State Governor Amadu Fintiri. He said Nigeria is made up of several nations, and this is why a one-party state could never become a reality in the circumstances. Governor Makinde commended and congratulated the Adamawa State Governor for his political trajectory, which showed that he had come a long way in politics. Another time out. Please stay tuned.
Eat and Win promo. The more you eat, the more you win. How to win? Buy the Indomie Eat and Win promo pack. Find the promo code inside. Visit indomie.ng/eat and win. Enter your promo code and start earning points fast for a chance to win exciting gifts and 1 million naira cash every week for a lucky winner. So hurry now, eat and win. Let the winning begin. Visit indomie.ng/eat and win for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Power Oil Light. Light enough for movement. Real enough for taste. Power Oil. My choice for my family. They always come back for seconds. I know why. Power Oil. My choice for my family.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care with 5 oils and 5 vitamins. 48-hour nourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care for your shade of beautiful.
Welcome back. Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has warned that the conviction of the indigenous people of Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu could worsen the security tension in the country. Obi, in a statement posted today on his X account, said the judgment risks heightening national tension rather than easing it. He said the news of Kanu's conviction could compel Nigerians to reflect deeply, especially at a time like this, when the nation is contending with economic hardship and escalating insecurity. Obi stated that Kanu's arrest and detention were avoidable, arguing that the entire episode signaled leadership failure and a misreading of the core issues. According to him, the grievances Kanu raised were neither new nor impossible to resolve, but demanded wisdom, empathy, and genuine engagement. Calling for calm, Obi urged the presidency, the Council of State, and respected statesmen to intervene and work towards sustainable peace. Meanwhile, the Abia State Governor, Alex Oti, says the judgment is not yet the end of the road, assuring Abians that he has activated and will continue to work on his freedom. This follows the court judgment handed down on the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra on Thursday, November 20, 2025, in Abuja. In a statement personally signed and released today, Oti recalled Federal High Court sitting in Abuja found their son and a citizen of the state, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, guilty of terrorism-related offenses and subsequently sentenced him to life imprisonment, adding that without doubt, the development has broken a lot of their people and created an atmosphere of shock and sorrow in Abia and beyond. Oti expressed his strong belief that the poor management of the IPOB issue at the incubation stage created the problem. Hence, they cannot allow it to linger and create a bigger monstrous situation for us. He assured of his unwavering resolve and commitment to genuinely solving the problem with wisdom, high-level dialogue and diplomacy, with a view to ensuring that genuine peace returns to the Southeast. A professor of Applied and Organization Communications in the Faculty of Arts, University of Ibadan, Olushola Oyewo, says rumors and fake news, especially on social media, can be controlled through the establishment of a rumor control center. Professor Oyewo disclosed this at the 2024-2025 600th inaugural lecture delivered at the Trenchard Hall of the University of Ibadan. Staff reporter Bimbo Akombi, who was at the lecture, brings details.
Control rumor. Rumor to some extent can still be controlled. The source of evidence that seeks to control rumor spread was proved to be easily discernible and considered reliable, against which other sources of information could be checked and written.
Professor Olushola Oyewo, during his inaugural lecture, said rumors to some extent can be controlled, saying the source of evidence that seeks to control rumor being spread must prove to be easily identified and considered reliable against other sources of information which could be checked and rechecked. According to him, during breaking news, rumors help Nigerians to fill in gaps in knowledge and information. The communication dawn said rumors also play a complementary role in the reportage of stories, especially as full details of such stories are either not available or sketchy. Professor Oyewo noted that it is a coping mechanism for information seekers who wants to have full gist of stories making the rounds, adding that rumors also provides a kind of assurance in periods of uncertainty. He said it was important to note that as the society becomes more complex in seeking information, it will be imperative for managers within the organizations and the society at large to pay conscious attention to rumors and its attendant consequences. While comparing rumor and gossip as an area of study in communication studies, he said that rumor, though an abstract concept, could be subjected to empirical investigation and analysis, saying that rumor as an informal network of relationships is a viable means of communication within the organization and the society, which could be explored to advantage. He disclosed that a common feature between rumor and gossip is the issue of exchange, adding that rumor and gossip could be malicious, vengeful, hurtful, and damaging, especially when they are spread with malicious intent and out of spirals, as they could both be capable of disrupting group of individuals' harmony.
Traffic lights at Mokola were destroyed because there was a story that people did not wait to authenticate. That was when they said Abiola was no longer, that they didn't recognize Abiola's rulership as the president in waiting. And so people took to the streets and they started destroying lives and property and all of that. So if there have been very good and sound and strong piece of information, they wouldn't have taken to the streets like that. That's why I advocated that we need to have a rumor control center that will also join hands or team hands with probably, maybe we should expand the scope of National Orientation Agency to accommodate that.
Rumors, according to him, is defined as talks or opinions widely disseminated with no credible source of current statement or report without known for its truth. Professor Olushola Oyewo has 75 publications in several reputable local and international journals, and his research focus and interest include rumor, fake news, diversity studies, applied communications, organizational and business communication, as well as business journalism. Bimbo Akombi, BCOS News.
The Olubadan of Ibadan land, His Imperial Majesty Oba Rashidi Ladoja Arusa I, has encouraged the Jericho Businessmen Club, JBC, in partnership with the Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, CCII, to persist in its endeavors to equip the youth with technological skills and enhance their capabilities, thereby contributing to the socio-economic development of Oyo State. The charge was delivered during the third edition of the Jericho Businessmen Club, JBC, Annual Socio-Economic Summit held at the International Conference Center in Ibadan. Our reporter, Frances Aino, who was at the event, files in the details.
The third edition of the Jericho Businessmen Club (JBC) Annual Socio-Economic Summit convened prominent business leaders, government officials, traditional rulers, and innovators to examine the theme Future Ready Oyo State: Tech, Talent, and Transformation for a Thriving Tomorrow. The event drew a diverse audience keen to examine strategies for fostering economic growth and sustainability in the Oyo State. Speaking at the event, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, His Imperial Majesty Oba Rashidi Ladoja Arusa I, noted that the state has the capacity to accelerate socio-economic growth and build a sustainable future.
You are not a social club, and you are not just a networking club. People thought that clubs are meant to be social and networking. Your own is not like that. Your own is a business club.
In his opening remarks, the president of the Jericho Businessmen Club, Chief Adegboyega Adegoke, stated that the club's purpose is to establish a credible and non-partisan platform for fostering socio-economic development in Oyo State through informed dialogue, strategic partnerships, and advocacy.
If you look at what about trend now, it's on tech. So we need to prepare our youth, our mind, our people, graduates, young graduates, undergraduates. You need to prepare them. I know government is trying, but only government cannot do it.
Delivering the keynote address, the guest speaker, Michelle Elegbe, examined the role of technology, human capital, and innovation in shaping Oyo State's future, highlighting the need for collaboration between the private sector and government.
I think the tech ecosystem in Nigeria is doing quite well. There's still a lot we can do, clearly, but the system is going well, and being here today is to get a sense and contribute to the development of that ecosystem itself.
In his welcome address, the chairman of the planning committee, Mr. Adekunle Afolabi, emphasized that the chosen theme is particularly relevant as technology and human capital remain the dual drivers of progress in the 21st century.
The summit for this year is the equipping of our youth in actual, what is called globally in demand tech skills. And part of this year's summit, last week, we actually had a training for 53 carefully selected youths. We took them through a 3-day workshop to give them appreciation of tech itself.
In their respective goodwill messages, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, represented by the Senior Special Assistant on ICT and e-governance, Mr. Adebayo Akonde, the President General of the Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, Chief Ajeniyi Ajewole, and a past President General of CCII, Chief Bayo Oyero, commended the Jericho Businessmen Club for its impact on the Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes and Ibadan land at large, noting that the theme is timely for a future-ready Oyo State.
Don't let today end with good speeches. Let it end with commitments. Let it end with partnerships. Let it end with one or two things we can point and say, this came out of JBC 2025. If we do that consistently, Oyo State won't just be future ready. Oyo State will be the state's other study.
Highlights of the event, which was graced by dignitaries such as the head of service, Mrs. Olubunmi Oni, immediate past head of service, Alaja Ololade Agbuola, and the coordinating director of Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Mr. Kunle Junaid, included a panel session, the decoration of Olubadan of Ibadan land as grand patron of the Jericho Businessmen Club, and the presentation of awards. Frances Aino, BCOS News.
The chairman of SIP Holdings, Dr. Olatunde Oladokun, has been inaugurated as one of the patrons of the National Association of Microfinance Banks, Oyo State Chapter. Our reporter, Olamide Owolabi, who covered the event as part of activities marking the 20th anniversary conference of the National Association of Microfinance Banks, Oyo State Chapter, held at the Local Government Training School, Secretariat Agodi, Ibadan, has the details.
The event featured a panel session and the inauguration of the chairman of SIP Holdings, Dr. Olatunde Oladokun, as one of the association's patrons. Speaking on the program, the Oyo State Commissioner for Budgets and Economic Planning, Professor Musiba Babatunde, commended the association for its role in bridging gaps in economic development and highlighted the Oyo State government's ongoing collaboration with microfinance banks in supporting local businesses and households. He also noted that Oyo State government will soon commence the second phase of the Oyo State Sustainable Action for Economic Recovery (SAFER) program with the sum of 1 billion naira to provide economic relief through various initiatives across the state.
We realize that in fact we need to reflate the economy of the state by supporting our businesses, and we realize we cannot just do it as a government. So we have to partner with 7 microfinance banks across the 7 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, and they delivered effectively. So that's actually a very good part of the collaboration that the state government have enjoyed. And very soon the second part of the SAFER program is coming up to the tune of 1 billion, and we are also going to work with the microfinance banks in the state.
In his remarks, the newly decorated patron of the association, the chairman of SIP Holdings, Dr. Olatunde Oladokun, expressed appreciation to the association for the honor bestowed on him.
It's a very good welcoming position they have given to me as a way of returning back the knowledge acquired and developing microfinance in Nigeria. And it's going to trigger many things, especially reawakening the government's involvement in microfinance. And I think through dialogue and through discussion, there will be need for us to bring governments onto the board. When you look into the ways of microfinance are running their affairs, you discover that nobody is in the rural area. And the central bank also need to be flexible with their policies.
Highlights of the event included goodwill messages, cultural presentation, and the cutting of the anniversary cake. Olamide Owolabi, BCOS News.
In a nation where life expectancy falls below 70, Deaconess Abigail Olalire, grandmother of BCOS Yoruba newscaster Oluwaseun Akinyosun, defied the odds, living to the remarkable age of 102. Staff reporter Gbemisola Adebayo covered the funeral service held at CAC Okeirorun Eleta DCC Academy Ulumi, Ibadan.
As the popular saying goes, there is a time to live and a time to die. Deaconess Abigail Olalire lived through a century and 2 years on earth, prompting family members, friends, and well-wishers to gather in celebration of a woman many described as irreplaceable. In a sermon titled, "Where Are We Going After Death?" Pastor A.K. Akonwo of CAC Okeirorun DCC Academy Olomi reminded the congregation that Jesus remains the way, the truth, and the life, urging all to embrace truthfulness and holiness befitting of Christ.
Lọ́jọ́ kan, àwa náà kò nínú ayé tí a wà yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n tó ṣe ní láàánú jù ní wípé ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn nínú ayé wọn àwọn ibi tí wọ́n ń lọ wọ́n bá kò ní inú ayé wọn àwọn ibi tí wọ́n ń lọ.
The church choristers rendered a special number just as prayers were offered for the family of the departed. Following the service, our remains were committed to Mother Earth at the Eleta Cemetery, Shokoro, Ibadan. Speaking with BCOS News, some children and grandchildren, including BCOS Yoruba newscaster Oluwaseun Akinyosun, described their matriarch as humble, disciplined, and devoted to God.
She's a very kind woman, an industrious, a religious, and a courageous woman.
She was a beautiful woman, wonderful woman. I don't know the words to describe her. She was so good.
Described as a kind, gentle, and a role model. Was a lively woman. There's no how you will be with her that you will be sad. She's very lively, and she loved her children so much.
She was very caring. She brought everybody together, and you find it difficult to even know the difference
who is actually from who is actually from this. So that's the kind of life she lived.
A reception followed, treating guests to music, refreshments, and heartfelt moments shared in memory of a life well lived. Born in 1923 in Oluyole local government area of Oyo State, late Dickness Abigail Olalere served God faithfully until she passed peacefully in her sleep on 27th August 2025 at the age of 102. She is survived by children and great-grandchildren. Bemisola Adebayo, BCOS News.
Now to Sports Desk.
And thanks for joining us on the sports segment of the news. My name is Buluwaji Ogumola. Akwa United head coach Paul Offo has said that his players are highly motivated ahead of the match day 2 encounter against Abakaliki Football Club. The Promise Keepers will face Abakaliki Football Club at the Uyo Township Stadium on Sunday. Offo said they will approach each game as it comes. The young tactician said the goal of the club is to secure maximum points against the 2025 President's Federation Cup finalists. Sunshine Stars Football Club of Akure have been permitted to return to their home ground of the season. The Modest Club disclosed this in a statement signed by club president Michael Amefula on Friday. According to the statement, the initiative is intended to boost support for the club and bring the thrills of the NPFL closer to the people. Kun Kalifat will host Plateau United in their next home match at the Dan Ayaon Stadium on Sunday, the 30th of November. Kun Kalifat will score against Warriors in Ozoro this weekend. Finally, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has provided injury updates on several members of the squad ahead of their Premier League clash against Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. The Gunners go into the weekend 4 points clear at the top of the table. They will be looking to maintain the advantage when they host their North London rivals. However, Arteta could be without a few key players for the clash. Players like Odegaard, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus and Madueke are unavailable for the game. And that's sports this evening. Thanks for watching.
On the foreign scene, Belarus, a close Russian ally, has pardoned 31 Ukrainian citizens, state TV said on Saturday, as part of an agreement between President Alexander Lukashenko and U.S. counterpart Donald Trump. Lukashenko's spokeswoman, Natalia Elsmont, said the pardon, which was requested by Ukraine, was a result of the agreements reached between U.S. President Donald Trump and President of the Republic of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko. Trump has pushed Belarus to free political prisoners in contact with Lukashenko, journalists and clerics. According to Rights Group, there were more than 1,000 political prisoners remaining in Belarusian prisons. Brazil's convicted former president, Jair Bolsonaro, who has been under house arrest since August, has been transferred to prison detention. He was transferred to detention today, according to his lawyer. The 70-year-old ex-president, Bolsonaro's legal team, had previously argued that he should serve his 27-year sentence at home due to ill health. The former president was tried for a botched coup attempt in 2022. To end the news around the world, here again are the main points. The number of pupils and students abducted from the St. Mary private primary and secondary schools has risen to 303, according to the Niger State CAN. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has reaffirmed his administration's steadfast